Sri A.K. Ganguly, Learned Senior Counsel for the Appellants, has submitted that Section 20 of the Act, which is a provision for preferring an appeal against the order of the Rent Control Court, does not lay down that payment or deposit of all admitted arrears of rent is a condition precedent for preferring an appeal. In view of the clear mandate of subsection 4 of section 20 that the appellate court shall have all the power of rent control court, including fixing of arrears of rent and having regard to the scheme contained in subsection 2 of section 13 of the Act, the appellate authority can not only qualify the arrears of rent but also the time limit for depositing the same. The appellate authority has been expressly conferred power under subsection 3 of section 13 to grant further time or to condone the default in making the deposit, and therefore an appeal preferred without making the requisite deposit cannot be held to be not maintainable and is not liable to be rejected straightway on that ground alone. Learned Counsel has also submitted that their mere filing of the appeal without payment or making the deposit by itself does not cause any prejudice to the landlord, inasmuch as it will always be open to the appellate authority not to proceed with the hearing of the appeal or to pass any interim order in favor of the tenant appellant until the requisite payment or deposit has been made. Learned Counsel for the respondent landlord has, on the other hand, submitted that no litigant has any inherent right of appeal in any cause. The right of appeal is a creature of the statute, and it is always open to the legislature to provide or lay down the condition subject to which alone an appeal may be preferred. In this connection, Learned Counsel has drawn analogy from some taxing statutes which require deposit of admitted amount of tax, and also section 173 of Motor Vehicles Act for entertaining the appeal. He has further submitted that the language of the statute is clear and unambiguous, and on a plain language thereof, the payment or deposit of admitted amount of rent by the tenant is a condition precedent for preferring an appeal, and in absence of such payment or deposit, the appeal would be incompetent and is liable to be rejected. The view taken by the appellate authority that as the appellant tenant had not paid or deposited all arrears of rent admitted by him to be due, the appeal filed by him was incompetent is therefore clearly unsustainable in law, and the revisional authority rightly set aside the said order and remanded the matter for fresh consideration by the appellate authority. The division bench of the High Court under the impugned order has held that the reference to larger bench made by the learned single judge was not called for and directed the writ petition to be placed for hearing on merits before the learned single judge. However, it will be open to the appellate authority not to proceed with the hearing of the appeal or to pass any interim order in favor of the appellant tenant until he has paid or deposited all arrears of rent admitted by him to be due, and for such purposes the appellate authority shall have all the powers under subsections 2 and 3 of section 13 of the Act. Since we have held that the appeal filed by the appellant against the decision of the Rent Control Court could not be rejected only on the ground that the admitted arrears of rent had not been paid or deposited, the hearing of the writ petition now by the learned single judge would entail waste of public time. We therefore direct that the appeal preferred by the appellant be heard and decided in accordance with the direction issued by the learned district judge West Tripura by the judgment and order dated 26/4/1997 in Civil RCC Revision number 2 of 1996 and in accordance with law. The appeal is disposed of in terms of these directions. Stop.